started.
All right.
Hello, everyone in Facebook world. I am KK Middleton. So glad to be able to share with you all on this beautiful day that the Lord has made. I hope this word is very helpful. We'll be getting started in about a minute and a half. And again, thank you all for chiming in. We want to encourage you to please share this on your social media platform. Tag a friend. Let them know there is a word that will certainly be of help if they have the ear to listen in times like these. Again, I am KK Middleton, and I'm grateful to be able to share a word with you all on today. All right, we got 1 minute left, and we'll be getting started. All right, again, hello and greetings to each and every one of you. I am KK Middleton, and I bring you humble greetings from the Sweet Canaan Missionary Baptist Church of Tuskegee, Alabama, where I have the opportunity to serve as their under shepherd and pastor. During this season, we know that we're in some unfortunate and unpredicted times, and it is my assignment to come and speak a word that is biblically based, that is practical, and that is fruitful, to let you know that we will make it through this. I want to glean from the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1, in the King James Version. And in that version, you will find these words, and it reminds us, again, Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1, "To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven." And so because we understand that everything has its season and its purpose, I want to encourage us from the subject, don't you dare. That's what I want to share with us for the next few moments. I want to speak from the subject, don't you dare. I know it's rough. I know every time we turn on the news, we're hearing more and more people are being diagnosed with this unfortunate virus, very deadly in some areas throughout the world. But I've stopped by to tell all of us that when it comes to this business, we have to understand that God has it. And therefore, because God has it and because He knows what we're up against, we have to know how to leave certain things in the hands of the problem solver. This issue is too big for most of us. It is above our pay grade. It is above our comprehension. We didn't create it. We didn't ask for it. And at the end of the day, we personally don't have the cure. We're not scientists. We're not surgeons. We don't work in a lab. But I'll stop by to tell you, in times like these, don't you dare lose your mind. I hope I'm helping you already just in these few moments. Don't you dare lose your mind. Don't you dare. Snap. I'm encouraging us in times like these. Put down the guns. Put down the knives. Put down the alcohol bottle. Don't you dare lose your mind just because you are having to be shaken up just for a moment. The Bible lets us know this is just a season. And we have to understand this, family. In times like these, it is not up to us to determine how long this is going to last, but it is up to us to use wisdom and to have discipline in this season. Put down the guns, put down the knives, put down the pills. Now is not the time to overdose. Put down depression. Now is not the time to lose your mind. Put down anger. Now is not the time to be snapping on innocent people who have done nothing wrong to you. Put down regrets. Look, you can't change the past. Okay, I get it. You don't have enough food in the cupboard. I get it. You didn't save enough money. But now is not the time to have regrets. Put down doubt. In times like these, the last thing we need to do is doubt God. I don't need us to hear about us saying things that are inappropriate. Now is not the time to lose faith. Now is not the time to talk about God isn't real, the Bible isn't real, church isn't real. Look, now is the time to just hold on. Don't you dare allow these tough times to get you out of character. This is only a test, and Ecclesiastes chapter 3 says this is temporary. It's only for a season. Now that things are rough, it's not the time to start backbiting. Now is not the time to be making enemies. How many of us realize we all need friends? Now is not the time to be making enemies. Now is not the time to be seeking revenge. Look, whoever owes you something, let them have it for right now. Let's not go back down memory lane. Let's not focus on the past. Don't you dare allow yourself to become worldly just because chaos is breaking out throughout the world. Now is not the time for retaliation. Now is not the time for it, family. We have to make sure that we prepare ourselves to use our time wisely. Now is the time we all should be given. And so don't you dare, for those that are chiming in via radio, social media, understand this. In times like these, all of us need to be focusing on being sweet. Now is not the time to be bitter. Don't you dare allow tough times to cause you to get out of character. But instead, there are some recommendations that I would like to give due to the wisdom that I've acquired over the years and inspiration from the Bible. You say, well, I have all of this downtime and I'm getting frustrated. What should I do? I'm glad you asked. I definitely want to help you to give you some things that are practical in this season. Now, since many of us have been challenged, unless you work in the healthcare industry or in some type of essential governmental position, most of us are homebound now. We're in quarantine mode. So, what is it, Pastor KK, that I could be doing while I'm stuck in these four walls? While I'm at a point where I can't break out and do what I want to do. What can I be doing? I'm glad you asked, and I like to use alliteration, and I like to use plain language when I'm sharing with the people of God. And so my first recommendation, dealing with the letter R, for those of us who are homebound in quarantine mode, the first thing I would like to recommend, while we have some time on our hands, the first thing we can be doing is cleaning up our rooms. Somebody say clean up. We can be cleaning up our rooms. First R. At the end of the day, sometime I've discovered about life, life has to force us to do what we should have been doing already. We're talking about viruses, and we're talking about plagues, and we're talking about infections and bacteria. How many of us, if we would be honest with ourselves, a lot of us haven't did a thorough cleaning in a long time in our own homes. When was the last time you did some old school cleaning? When was the last time you hauled away some stuff? Many of us, if we tell the truth, we got too much stuff in our homes collecting dust, and we need to do some real cleaning. When was the last time we cleaned the baseboards? When was the last time we reached up and got the dust off of the chandeliers? How many of us know you can end up very sick, not from what you get in the streets, but what we simply get in our homes? Our allergies can start to acting up. Our system can start to shutting down simply because we don't clean on a regular like we used to. I know many of us have gotten busy, but now we don't have an excuse. Now we have the time to clean up. I hear it. I hear you, saints. I know you're saying no weapon formed against you shall prosper. But what about the weapons of filth and destruction that we form against ourselves? I know, saints, I hear you. I hear you. You're an anointed man of God. You're an anointed woman of God. I hear you. You're saying that you and your home is covered by the blood. But can I also make a recommendation? In times like these, not only do we need to be covered by the blood, but we need to be covered by some Clorox. Do I have a witness? We need to be covered by some Pine Sol. Do I have a witness? We need to be covered by some ammonia. Do I have a witness? Look, research shows that you can get very sick from your own home when your air isn't clean. Now is the time to try to build up our immune system. We need all hands on deck. If you know you're going to be out for the next 2 weeks, divide all the parts of your home. Divide it up into 10 sections and say we're going to deal with a room at a time or a half a room at a time. We're going to work on decluttering. We're going to work on giving away. We're going to work on throwing away. There are some items that you haven't used in a long time and they're just collecting dust. Just get rid of it. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. There's some whatnots sitting around that have no purpose and you're going to trip up over it. You're going to be frustrated and it's causing you to get sick. Get rid of it. How many of us know that cleanliness is the next thing to godliness? At the end of the day, we not only need to have a clean teeth and a clean heart, but how many of us understand we need to have a clean home? Now is the time to catch up on some chores. Look, at the end of the day, you want to make sure that your home is a happy place, that your home is a healthy place. I charge all of us under the sound of my voice, walk through your house, do an inventory. When was the last time you washed those pillows? When was the last time you shampooed the carpet? When was the last time you changed the sheets? When was the last time you washed those curtains? At the end of the day, we need to be focusing on cleaning up our own homes. Look, we probably can't run the government. We probably can't clean the streets. We probably cannot rid the world of its impurities, but we can at least be a good steward over our own homes. I hope I'm helping you because I'm definitely being convicted as I share this message. At the end of the day, we need to engage aggressively in cleaning up our own homes. And when you get through working on your bedroom and your living room and your kitchen, go outside. Hello, somebody. When you get through cleaning up in your backyard, make sure your front yard is straight. Get rid of your cobwebs, knocking down the old nest, and then reach next door and ask your neighbor, do they need a little help? Don't you dare sit down in this season and become idle, twiddling your fingers as if you don't have nothing to do. How many of us know church is not in the building? Now we got to understand how to do what Christ did. Do you realize that 92% of his ministry was outside of the temple, was outside of the church? Now it's time to not only help ourselves, but help your next door neighbor. Even if you don't know their name, now is a good time to say, I'm here if you need me. If you live next door to an elderly person, put on your mask and let them know, I'll dedicate 1 or 2 days next week to cleaning up for you at no extra cost. The world needs more love. We need to demonstrate that we can not only help ourselves, but we have to let our light shine and be willing to help our next door neighbor. So not only, watch this, not only will we be responsible for moving forward, for cleaning up some rooms in our own house and helping our neighbor, but the second R, while we have this downtime, this is a perfect opportunity to reconcile with family. Look, I get it. One thing that I've discovered in my almost 41 years of living, I've discovered that the Lord works in mysterious ways. Look, before now, many of us were so busy that we didn't even make contact with our family. We've gotten so successful that we don't even contact our family. We've gotten so up on the hill and doing well that we're so busy we never see our folks. We never show up for family reunions. We never show up for Sunday dinner. We never show up for birthdays. We never show up for anniversaries. We never fellowship with them in worship service. Now is a perfect time to reconcile. Now is a perfect time to get back together. I know, I hear you. You're saying, well, traffic has stopped, and I'm not allowed to drive any and everywhere like I used to. Traveling has stopped. Well, I'll stop by to tell you, even though you can't get in your car and go like you want to, how many of us know you got a phone? You can use it with all of this downtime after you get through cleaning up your rooms. Reach out and reconcile with your family members. When was the last time you sent your mama a text and said, hey, I'm just checking on you? When was the last time you sent your daddy a text and say, hey, Pops, I love you and I hope all is well? When was the last time you checked on your cousin and say, hey, cuz, I'm pulling for you. I see your success. I hear good news. I'm proud of you. Keep doing what you do. When was the last time you checked on Auntie Nell? When was the last time you checked on your big brother? When was the last time you checked on your little sister? Now is the time to reconcile. You know what I've discovered? When family isn't right, nothing else goes right. And now, in this unique world that we live in, with this wonderful and intelligent God who ordains and authorizes and allows all things to take place, I can just imagine God saying, when you were at the bottom, you were very friendly. But the moment I allowed you to get a nickel over lunch money, you became arrogant and distant. He says, so now I got to shake up the atmosphere. He says, since you won't take a sabbatical from stuff on your own, I'll force your hand. How many of us know we serve a God that he gets impatient with our stubbornness? We serve a God that knows how to get our attention when we don't want to do it on our own. He said, now since you won't fast from the fast lane, I'm going to put you in a position where you have no choice but to sit down and reflect, where you have no choice but to sit down and reach out to your loved one. How many of us know at the end of the day, there's nothing more important than family? You can have all the riches in the world, but how many of us know there's nothing more important than family? You can have all the titles and the status, but the Bible lets us know that, hey, when all of your money is gone, so will your so-called friends be. When your status is gone, so will your so-called friends be. Come here, prodigal son, the one who left his family and got cocky and arrogant and wanted to distance himself and do his own thing. Do you remember that when he wanted to do his own thing, he broke away from the family, and when he got out there in the world, he got sick on the stomach? Why? Because he got broke. And he thought that everybody loved him, but he found out, unfortunately, that it was only fake love. And they treated him like he had the coronavirus. Nobody wanted to deal with him. Nobody wanted to be around him. And he ended up dropping way down. But when his senses kicked back in, how many of us know that God will allow you to get to a private place where he can put some sense back in you? And when his senses kick back in, the Bible says that he ended up back where he should have never left, and that was with family. I stopped by to tell you, there's power in numbers. There's power when you're connected with people of like mind and like spirit. Find your family today. You may say, well, I'm adopted, and I don't have no family that's still alive. All my folks are dead and gone. I stopped by to tell you, there's some people on standby that God has assigned to you. If you would just open up, the Bible says if you want friends, you got to first show yourself friendly. I'm challenging each and every one of us that are chimed in via radio and social media to reach out to somebody and just lend yourself and just say, hey, I want to serve. Let me tell you, people will turn down annoying telemarketers. People will turn down annoying individuals who are always trying to solicit and sell something. But how many of us know never on this planet has a person turned down a servant? I tell you to open up yourself in this season and simply say, I want to serve. If there's anything that I need to do to help you, just let me know. Don't you dare sit up in that house by yourself and act like you're by yourself. God is saying, no, I'm on standby. Angels on standby. Saints are on standby. If you want love, we got it. If you want a bond, we got it. If you want friends, we got it. At the end of the day, you are not alone in this crisis. Look, there are people on standby that have been assigned to you, but you got to open up. Now is the time to reconcile with the faith community. Some of you who are chimed in, you hadn't even been to church in a while. Look, nobody's going to look down on you. Open arms. Open arms. We're here not to judge. Open arms. We're here not to belittle you. We're here not to make you look small. Come on back. Now is the time to reconcile with family and your faith community. Look, we might not always agree on everything, but one thing we all can agree on in times like these, we need each other. It don't mean you have to join a specific church. Let me get that straight. Now is not the time to force denomination on anybody. Now is not the time to be battling over whose church is going to thrive. Because how many of us know this crisis that we're in, it's impacting all humanity. People don't need us to be strict on them. They just need us to be open and loving and let one another know, I got your back. Now is the time to reconcile, to put aside petty differences, to put aside old hurts, to put aside old debts. Oh God, can we just forgive one another? I know we messed up in the past, but how many of us know we can't change the past, and what we're dealing with now is much greater than what we're tripping about, than what we're upset about, than what we're envious about. Now is the time to love on one another. Now is the time to let that foolery go, to let them know, hey man, I admit I was wrong. Will you forgive me? I admit I violated. Will you forgive me? I admit that I overstepped my boundaries. Will you have mercy? Because I would rather have you than to have the stuff in the world. I would rather have your relationship, your connection, your assignment to me. I would rather have your bond than to be out here in a big old barn all by myself. If we're going to make it, we got to make it with each other. How many of us know, man, no dollar bills can't keep you warm at night? How many of us know you can't get comfort out of stuff, but you can get peace when you're connected with the right partners? I'll say that again. Preach, KK. You can have peace when you're connected with the right partners. We're in a season where we're being forced to understand that we need one another. It doesn't matter your race. We need one another. It doesn't matter your denomination. We need one another. It doesn't matter which language you speak in. At the end of the day, we need each other to survive. It is not time for us to be focusing on what makes us different. What needs to be the focus is what makes us all in common. And that is, we all want to live to see another day. We all want to be able to speak to our loved ones in a peaceful manner. We all want to be able to walk around without having masks on our face. We all want to be able to make it without having to take a whole lot of medicine. At the end of the day, we all want to be made whole. And so don't you dare lose your mind in this season. Don't you dare get out of character in this season. And thirdly, not only should we focus on making sure that the rooms are clean and that the family is reconciled, but thirdly, while we have this downtime on our hands, we need to make sure that we're brainstorming, watch this, on how to create more revenue streams. On how to create more revenue streams. What am I saying? For the past 2 or 3 years, who's ever chimed in, I'm talking to you. For the past 2 or 3 years, you've been putting to the side a dream and a vision that God has given you. He's told you what to do. He's told you how to create more revenue, but at the end of the day, you haven't capitalized off it, and the biggest excuse that you've given yourself is, I'll do it when I get time. God has been saying to you for the past 2 or 3 years, I need you to write out the vision and make it plain, but you've been putting it off. He's been saying to you for the past 2 or 3 years, I need you to complete your credentials, but you've been putting it off. He's been saying to you, I need you to go and get that certification and start your own business, but you've been putting it off. He said, now is the time. What is your excuse? what is your excuse? He says, I've given you automatic downtime. And I'm challenging each and every one of us. At the end of the day, you got to take advantage of this opportunity. You got to see it for what it is. When the doubters out there become depressed and they start complaining, the people of God and those who have real wisdom and insight, you got to be able to say, opportunity. You got to look at what's paining you the most right now and solve it. What's aching you the most right now and solve it. What's irritating you the most right now and solve it. Whatever is irritating you, that's what God is assigning you to. Whatever is frustrating you, that is what God is assigning you to. How many of us know that leaders solve problems, followers, whiners, and complainers, that's all they do is sit around and continue to highlight what's wrong. At the end of the day, you got to be able to say, now, Lord, after you bring me out of this, I thank you, but I'm going to be better prepared for the next situation. Because how many of us know that, yes, God will deliver, and yes, this is temporary, but how many of us know after we come out of this, we're going to pause for a while, we're going to celebrate for a while, but rest assured, because I am a sociologist, my first degree, rest assured that after this, something else is going to come up. How many of us know who've been on earth a little while can tell and testify to the fact that storms keep coming? So since you know storms keep coming, I advise all of us to learn how to build some shelter. Learn how to make some umbrellas. At the end of the day, it is up to us to prepare. Come here, Noah. I know a lot of people laughed at him in the prophecy. He was starting to build and prepare. And folks were like, what is this man doing? He said, hey, I've been told rain is coming. And at the end of the day, how many of us know that those who didn't help out, they're the ones that drown? Look, I'm not telling you some fatalities are not going to occur. I'm not telling you that some people are going to miss out. But how many of us know after this, we should all take heed to the warning and say, now, it suffered me for this phase. I was uncomfortable. I was somewhere stuck in a house where I didn't want to be. I was down and out. I lost wages. I lost weight. I lost food. But now, Lord, after this, I'm going to do better the next time. After this, I'm going to be prepared the next time. After this, Lord, if you just let me live through this, I promise you, I'm going to put something up the next time. I promise you, I won't waste it all in the world. I promise you, I won't spend it on things that are unnecessary. I promise you, I'm going to invest right. I promise you, I'm going to tithe right. I promise you, I'm going to take care of my children. I promise you, I'm going to do better by my own health. I promise you, I'm going to do better by my parents. God is saying, I'm shaking you up. But what are you going to do after this? The lesson is not in how we reacted in the past, but are we ready for the future? Look, I am a believer that this too is going to pass. But family, don't you dare lose your mind. Don't you dare go insane, but learn the lessons. So many of us, we've got caught up in this mentality of sitting around waiting on everybody else to take care of us. But how many of us know the Bible taught us, according to Christ, he said, hey, I'm not going to just give you fish, but I'm going to teach you how to fish. It's all about making sure that you are able to be self-sufficient. How many farmers do we got on the line? I know we laugh at certain industries, but how many CDL truck drivers do we got on the line? How many self-employed beauticians do we got on the line? At the end of the day, can you feed yourself? How many authorized chefs do we have on the line? You got to be able to say, God has given me a brain, I'm about to use it. God has given me the activity of my limbs, I'm about to use it. How many of us know that when one brook dries up, you can make it if you got 7 more? I'll say that again. If one brook dries up, you can make it if you got 7 more. But no, so many of us, we're just living day by day. But wisdom prepares us and lets us know in this life, you're going to have 7 good years of harvest. And then the prediction says after that, you're going to have 7 years of famine. So
We don't have to be surprised no more. There's too many historical events to show us the pattern. There's too many ways to be able to survive. Now we have to tap into our creative side. Look, let's stop trying to gossip and slander those who are in position, because how many of us know that won't help? I'm reminded as I reflect back as a child, watching adults who would try to go and prepare meals in the kitchen. I can remember on multiple incidents when the child would walk in the kitchen, being nosy, sniffing, didn't want to help, but was asking the main question, what's for dinner? What time we gonna eat? And I can remember adults when I was growing up would tell you, get out of here, go on somewhere and play, and guess what? I'll call you when it's ready. That's what I want to say to us. Stay off social media complaining about the decisions that our leaders are making. Don't frustrate them in this season. They don't need to hear us chattering. They don't need to hear us whining. But go somewhere and not play, but watch this, and pray. Go somewhere and spend your time wisely. Working on your own house. God gonna work on the one that's in the White House. Make sure you cleaning up your own house. God gonna work on the one that's in the governor's house. Go and make sure you're cleaning up your own house. God is gonna work on the one that's overseeing the church house. At the end of the day, we can't control what other folks do, but we can control what we do. At the end of the day, if we stay focused, if we do what we're supposed to do, God will handle the rest. I'll start by to tell somebody, don't you dare lose your mind. This problem is not yours. It is the Lord. Don't you lose your mind. It's bigger than you, but we know a God that can solve every problem. We know who the great mathematician is. We know who the great lab and chemist is. We know the one who is able to do anything but fail. But you got to trust him. Mind your business in this season. Look, quarantine. Stay put. Pause. Keep your cool. Mind your business. Say, Lord, I'm going to let you figure that out. That's bigger than me. That's above my pay grade. God, you took me through a lot of stuff in my past. Just go back down memory lane. Don't you freak out in this season. Remember when he brought you through that other stuff. And remember, the same God who brought you through that other stuff, he gonna bring you through this. Don't lose your mind, family. Don't you dare keep your mouth closed in this season. Don't snap. Don't doubt God. Don't slander. Let them know, look, all I'm trying to do is be sweet. And how many of us know, if you be sweet, God will make it rain. Yes, he will. He's going to make comfort rain if you just hold on. He's going to make peace rain down if you just hold on. He's going to bring a stop to your frustrations. But right now, just focus on your home. That's all I'm challenging you. Don't you dare get caught up in anxiety and stress and worrying about everybody else's lane. God see y'all. I'm telling you now, don't be fooled. For those who think they're getting by, understand, they're in God's hand too. But use your time wisely, family. And understand, but the best is yet to come. Look, after the rain, the sun will shine again. I love you. Thank you all for chiming in. Thank you for our partners in ministry, Praise 96.5. And God bless all of the messengers who have been online prior to me coming today. Pastor Williams, Pastor Lee B. Walker, Pastor Kyle Searcy, Pastor Clarence Stewart. Look, all of those leaders. And coming up next, Pastor Courtney Meadows. Again, thank you all so much for chiming in. And I encourage you to keep your head up. And I'm here for you. I am KK Middleton, pastor of the Sweet Canaan Missionary Baptist Church in Tuskegee, Alabama. I'm accessible. If you need me, inbox our church page on Facebook. We're here. Ministry doesn't stop just because we're not in the pulpit. Again, remember, we're here for you. And until the next time, be sweet, and we'll see you at the top.